Okay, so here we go. So these are workshops that were kind of mentioned while I pitched for the AGM. And here we are. So there are 4 of them. So next week, there is going to be a workshop on the mastery rubric for bioinformatics. Then we are going to have a workshop on bringing bioinformatics to high schools. And then there are 2 workshops that are actually connected, and these are done in collaboration with the Elixir network. So those of you who are not from Europe might not know what Elixir is. So Elixir is like a European infrastructure for bioinformatics. So most European countries belong to Elixir. Elixir does a lot of things. It's not at all only training, it's a lot of technical things and many, many other things as well. But this, what I will be talking about is in collaboration with the training platform of Elixir. So what we plan to do there is 2 workshops, train the trainer workshop and a single cell RNA-seq data analysis workshop. So, but let's start with the mastery rubric for bioinformatics. So as you might know, mastery rubric for bioinformatics, or MRBI, is a curriculum design and evaluation tool. So as you can see, it supports the development of KSAs, which are essential for bioinformatics practice. And it does so in a sort of stage-by-stage way. So how these things change over specific developmental stage from novice to independent expert. So this course is obviously targeted for people providing training, and it introduces the system and demonstrates how it can be used to enhance the achievement of learning outcomes. So it introduces bioinformatics as a learnable, improvable set of KSAs that capture bioinformatics practice. And it shows how it can be used to facilitate the design of training courses. So we have 3 trainers, Rochelle Trachtenberg from US, Allegra Via from Italy, and Terry Atwood from UK. So this workshop takes place next week. It was quite popular, so people had to apply. We got 27 applications. 12 people were selected for the sort of full workshop. That means interactive sessions with exercises, and the remaining 15 will be able to join as observers. Now, if you want to read more about the mastery rubric for bioinformatics itself or the workshop, I have put the link for the website here. And in this website, you also find a link to the paper that Celia was mentioning earlier. Then if we go ahead. So then I mentioned bringing bioinformatics to high schools. So first of all, why on earth would we want to do something like this? Why do we bother? Well, we clearly nowadays need mathematically oriented biomedical researchers. And the problem is that you often hear that people say, oh, I decided to study biology because I don't like maths. And these people are in for a surprise in this in this era of big data, because clearly they need to know some statistics and stuff. And so this is a problem. And on the other hand, we do need to make the mathematically oriented high school students aware that bioinformatics could be an interesting career option for them. So we sort of want to increase the awareness of bioinformatics in high schools. Now, kids nowadays are very computer savvy, so using computers in biology lesson makes biology more interesting. I have witnessed that at home with my son. And of course, it's also cheap to teach bioinformatics, because you only need a computer, which the kids have anyway, and the data and tools are free. So it's actually very possible to do it. So in this workshop that will take place this autumn, we haven't set the exact date yet. Marie-Claude will tell about the things they have done in high schools in Switzerland. Celia will tell about the activities in Netherlands. Stevie in UK. Michelle has organized some workshops for science teachers in Canada. And in Finland, we are just starting, really. So now, if on this call there are people who are doing this sort of stuff, please let me know, and I would be super happy to include you as a speaker. So the way how we are planning to organize this is that we actually want to record the presentations beforehand, make them available, and request that the participants view the videos prior to the workshop. So we don't actually need to spend the workshop time on the lectures because people have seen them already. This way we have more time to actually discuss and do also hands-on sessions for teachers. And there are really two kinds of sort of sets of presentations. So first of all, for the teachers and also the administrative people, we want to explain how bioinformatics teaching is organized in high schools in different countries. And then there is another set of presentations just showing how to use certain teaching materials that are available already. We can also design like model lessons, and here the target audience obviously is teachers. So perhaps actually something I should mention at this point is that when Celia was talking about the funding calls, that was like the bigger funding calls, but for organizing these workshops, I actually also was applying for funding. So the future AGM organizer might also want to think about it. So if when you organize workshops, you can apply for different external resources. So in this case, I was contacting the Finnish Ministry of Education for this one. And now then finally, so if you are still wondering if kids can learn bioinformatics, I would say yes, they can. So here we have a high school teacher. This is actually my son. And they had to do a biology assignment. So he was looking for differentially expressed genes into different tissues. And boy, these kids were forced to do things in a super scientific way. They had to write these reports with introductions and methods and discussion and God knows what, but he quite enjoyed it actually because he likes computers. So he thought this was much more interesting than collecting leaves or whatever else they had to do. And then, so this is high school now. In Netherlands, people are far more advanced. So here you have little kids constructing, I'm not sure if this is DNA or protein models or whatever, using little sticks and lollies with a model here. Now, I would imagine that most of the lollies end up in their mouth, but maybe some end up in these models as well. So clearly, it is possible to teach kids. But now let's move on to the other workshops. So then there is the Train the Trainer workshop and single-cell RNA-seq data analysis, which kind of go hand in hand. So the motivation being that currently there is actually a huge need for trainers or training in single-cell RNA-seq data analysis, and we just don't have enough trainers. So these two courses, the target audience is people who want to train others. So not just researchers who are doing single-cell RNA-seq, but really people who are committed to train others. This is a collaboration with Elixir. And well, both of these courses have been done before, but now we need to do it online. So that's a bit of a challenge. We have to think what's the best way to go about it. And again, here I would propose that we actually record the lectures beforehand and ask people to view them. This approach seems to work very well. I will tell you more about this tomorrow. And then we also want to make a sort of ready-made computing environment for the course that people then can have. Because this kind of, you need a lot of R packages for this kind of analysis. We ran a similar RNA-seq course or single-cell RNA-seq course in May 2019, and we recorded the videos, and by now they have had more than 17,000 views. So I think they have benefited a much bigger audience than what we had in the class at the time. So that's all I wanted to say about the workshops. If there are any questions.